ISUPK.
It's Israelite School EBK, started out of 1 West, Harlem, New York. Right now we in Milwaukee. We'll do a scripture breakdown class. And we also gonna get into Thanksgiving again to continue on what we was doing yesterday in class. All right. But before we do that, anybody got any questions before this topic comes out? Any questions? We'll take them right now. If not, let's get this history on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
All right.
The Real History of Thanksgiving by Susan Bates. Most of us associate the holiday with happy.
Read loud.
Most of us associate the holiday with happy pilgrims and Indians sitting down to a big feast.
All right. So when you look at Thanksgiving today, of course, you got people in their family saying we don't do this in the spirit of the original Thanksgiving. They say we just come and eat a happy meal, and they try to make it so nonchalant and there's a reason why they want to do that, because the actual past of Thanksgiving is a grim history. Read.
And that did happen once.
It happened once. Go ahead.
The story began in 1614.
Now that's around about the same time you Negroes was doing what? Anybody know? Raise your hand. In 1614, around about 1614, what was Negroes in America doing? Do you know? You don't know? Anybody know? In the year 1614.
Slavery?
Slavery. And straight up chains. You couldn't do nothing unless master told you to. In what year?
1614.
In the year 1614, Negroes was going into slavery. Read.
When a band of English explorers sailed home to England.
Go ahead.
With a ship full of Patuxent Indians.
So it was some a tribe of Native American Indians that was in the ships, right? This is around about the time you was going into slavery. You was coming from Africa, from England, from Europe to Africa to America. At the same time, you thought Negroes was the only ones going into slavery. You understand? You got a question? No sweat. It's called the triangular slave trade. That's what they was calling it. Right now they're trying to call it the triangular migration, but we didn't migrate over here. We didn't want to come over here. We were stolen and brought over here. All right. So a lot of people, you understand? What they fail to realize is that the tribe of Judah wasn't the only ones going into slavery. Gad was going into slavery as well at the same time. But of course, that's the most outstanding factor about slavery in America. It's just to put it on us. But we're reading right here that it was English people taking slaves in North American Indians over to England. Read.
Bound for slavery.
They was doing what?
Bound for slavery.
They was bound for slavery out there. Go ahead.
They left behind smallpox.
Good night. They left behind what?
Smallpox.
So these vaccines that white people trying to get y'all to put in your veins, you don't really need a defense to that. You understand? You wasn't the ones who brought it here. These white people brought these diseases here, and a bunch of famine and a bunch of other extra stuff. Go ahead, read.
which virtually wiped out those who had escaped.
It did what to them?
Wiped out those who had escaped.
It wiped out the Native Indians that did escape from slavery. Go ahead.
By the time the Pilgrims arrived in Massachusetts Bay, they found only one living Patuxent Indian.
That's crazy. That's a whole tribe of North American Indians was wiped out by smallpox. This is all in the spirit of Thanksgiving, though. And there was only one left. Read.
A man named Squanto.
Everybody familiar with Squanto? Nobody's familiar with Squanto? Squanto, they made a movie about Squanto. He damn near betrayed his own people. He betrayed his own people for the white man. The same thing that blacks and Hispanics are still doing and Native Indians are still doing to this day. Betraying one another for the sake of white people because of their love. Read.
Who had survived slavery in England and knew their language.
Now, Squanto, he was first taken into slavery. And he was taken into slavery in England. A lot of his people were sold into slavery and he came back. Read.
And taught them to grow corn and fish.
And he taught the white man how to grow corn, fish, how to live, just pretty much how to cultivate the land. Go ahead.
And negotiated a peace treaty between the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag Nation.
Of course, you needed a mediator. The same way as we're gonna get into this, I don't know, we're going to get back into this, you know what I'm saying? Because last night we was bringing some of this out when we was talking about a white man named Montezino who was a early, what you would call settler. You know what I'm saying? He was traveling back and forth from Spain to North America, and what he had with him was a Native Indian named Francisco who learned how to speak English and Yiddish, but his actual language was ancient Hebrew, which is what the Israelite school EPK speaks. Go ahead, read.
At the end of their first year, the Pilgrims held a great feast honoring Squanto and the Wampanoags.
Read that again.
At the end of their first year, the Pilgrims held a great feast honoring Squanto and the Wampanoags.
Now, give me Amos chapter 5 out, where the Lord said He hates your feast days and despise them as well. Anybody out there can get it. Just whenever you get it, just throw your hand up. Let me know you got it. Cause it's the same thing. It's still synonymous with what they doing today. This is why they even celebrate Thanksgiving. You understand? They celebrate Thanksgiving in commemoration to this feast right here. You understand? Read.
But as the word spread in England about the paradise to be found in the New World.
About the what?
The paradise to be found in the New World.
Before you get that, anybody got Amos chapter 5? Go ahead, read.
Amos chapter 5, verse 21. Got it, Akim? I despise your feast days. And
the Lord said what?
I despise your feast days.
But a lot of people say that the Lord don't hate nothing, that He love everything. The Lord is saying He hate and despise the what?
Your feast days.
Now, what we reading about right now on the first Thanksgiving, they did a feast in commemoration to their peace treaty that they made with the Native American Indians, right? And Squanto, who was a translator, he did a lot of, translating for the white people to learn how to survive in America. The white people were really the savages. You understand? These North American Indians taught them how to survive the land, how to cultivate the land. They had a feast about it, but at this feast, it was like a horror movie. You understand? Like, you just picture a horror movie. When you see a horror movie, it all starts out good, everybody happy. They didn't suspect for people to die and be put to death. That's what the first Thanksgiving is. Read. Read, you read. Read what it was talking about the feast again.
The story began in 1614 when a band of English explorers sailed home to England with a ship full of Patuxent Indians bound for slavery.
Read.
They left behind smallpox, which virtually wiped out those who had escaped. By the time the Pilgrims arrived in Massachusetts Bay, they found only one living Patuxent Indian named Squanto, who had survived slavery in England and knew their language. He taught them to grow corn and fish and negotiated a peace treaty between the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag Nation. At the end of their first year, the Pilgrims had a great feast honoring Squanto and the Wampanoag.
Now this is that feast that the Lord said he hated in Amos chapter 5. Read on.
But as word spread in England about the paradise to be found in the New World, religious zealots called Puerto Ricans.
Called what?
Called Puerto Ricans.
Good night. Good night. Go ahead.
Began arriving by the boatload.
Arriving by the what?
Arriving by the boatload.
Now this is in the year 1614. What year? Anybody know what year slavery actually began for the tribe of Judah in America? Just raise your hand if you could, please. Go ahead, sis. 1609. I think it was like 1618, wasn't it? 1619. Oh. Yeah, I think. But you close. You close. But this is what my point is. It's around the same time that our tribes went into slavery. They tribes was going into slavery at the same time. So who are you really? Who you really celebrating when you celebrating Thanksgiving? You celebrating the death of your people, no matter what tribe. At the same time, we were both going into slavery. These curses only fit Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Read.
Come. Finding no fences around the land.
Finding no what?
Finding no fences around the land.
Stop. Give me Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2 out. There's so many scriptures that you can bring into this that you'll be able to tell why, you understand, the Jews are in mourning. Why the native, when I say the Jews, when it says, sometimes when the scripture says the Jews, it's talking about all the tribes. Sometimes when the scripture say Israel, it's talking about all the tribes. You see what I'm saying? You got it?
Come.
Read.
Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2.
We ain't in the library, y'all. You can read loud.
Come, sir. Judah mourneth.
Judah what?
Judah mourneth.
Go ahead.
And the gates thereof languish.
And the what?
Gates thereof languish.
Now, here go those gates that the white man said he didn't find that was protecting the North American Indians. The gates are synonymous with how you protect your house, how you guard your land, how you guard your home. The North American Indians had no enemies over here. They didn't live by a system of let's put up a gate so that nobody can come in and raid. They lived like Israel always lived, except for in this land they was only dealing with each other. So they wasn't dealing with no outside influence, no smallpox, somebody, the devil. You understand? So they didn't have no gates up. Now stop where you at. Read.
Finding no fences.
Read the part about right there, please.
Finding no fences around the land.
Finding no what?
No fences around the land.
Finding no fences around the land. Read that part again and go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2.
I'm trying to help you understand the correlation. Go ahead.
Judah mourneth.
Judah what?
Mourneth.
The Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are in a state of mourning. Read.
And the gates thereof languish.
And the gates are weak. But North American Indians didn't have no gate. And the white man looked at that the same way they look at you today when you don't have no leadership to protect you. The white man looks at you and say, you weak, you for the taking, you for the picking, you right, let me take you. That's exactly what they did with them. Read. You read.
Finding no fences around the land. They consider it to be They consider it to be in the public domain.
Hey, what?
In the public domain.
Like manifest destiny. Since America had no great wall around everything, the white man say, this is manifest destiny. I could just take whatever land I want. But when he came here, he seen thriving cities with North American Indians, the Mexicans, you understand, the Seminole Indians, all the tribes of North American Indians. He knew that they were settled in the land. They had great cities, they had great mounds. He seen pyramids, he seen gold, he seen these men and these women dressed in leopard skin and panther skin with rings and head dresses. I could prove it. You know me, I go into the archaeology. I could show you when Native American Indians had mitres on. If they not the Israelites, why they wearing mitres? They had on the full get up, the full attire. Exactly how you'll see us wearing at the Passover. They had that. Why would they do that if they was Asians? You understand? Why would they do that if they was another nation? Read on. You read on.
Joined by other British settlers They seized the land.
They did what to it?
They seized the land.
They took the land. You know what it means when you seize something? Think about it when you, I don't know if anybody in here used to deal drugs, but I was a drug dealer when I was in the world. And I had some homies that wasn't smart enough like I was, and they got their stuff seized. You understand? You get locked up, you got a lot of stuff, they take what you got. They take it because they say, oh, you a drug dealer. You got this from selling drugs, even though they the #1 drug dealer. But they still seize your property. They seize whatever money you got locked up with, you're not getting that back. Whatever jewelry you locked up with and everything like that, your car keys, that's going to the impound. They gonna use your car and another drug bus. And you just got to take the L. You understand? But read on.
Capturing strong young natives for slaves.
Doing what?
Capturing strong young natives for slaves.
For what?
For slaves.
For what?
For slaves.
Good night. Now, what scripture pops up in your mind when we speaking about this? Anybody got a scripture pop up in their mind? Just raise your hand and just spit it out. You understand? It really ain't no wrong answer. Everybody probably on the same page. Y'all are done?
Deuteronomy 28:6 there.
That's exactly it. You want to pull it? Matter of fact, you don't pull it. One of y'all pull it out there. Baba Bashar.
Come on.
Quickly.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
When the Lord was speaking this, he was speaking to the entire nation of Israel. Everybody, every tribe. He said that he gonna bring you into slavery again. That means that you just got out of slavery from somewhere. The only major slavery that we had just gotten out of was in Egypt. So he said he gonna bring you back into Egypt. Hard bondage. If you don't know what Egypt means, it's a Greek word for slavery or bondage. You understand? The actual name of the land. Anybody know what the actual name of the land was? Sis, let's just answer. I know you know, Officer of 1,000.
Is it Mizraim?
Mizraim, Montezarium in the Hebrew. That's the name that the land was where you had the city Goshen and you know, Ramesses. You know what I mean? But nowadays it's synonymous. The reason why they even call it Egypt is because it's synonymous with the slavery that we was in there. You feel what I'm saying? Read on.
And killing the rest.
Not you, the scripture.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Thou shalt what?
See it no more again.
Read.
And there ye shall be sold.
You shall be what?
Sold.
Which is exactly what was happening to these North American Indians. They shall be what?
Sold.
Go ahead.
Unto your enemies.
Unto your who?
Enemies.
Your friends.
Enemies.
Your family.
Enemies.
Your brother.
Enemies.
Go ahead.
For bondmen.
For what kind of man?
Bondmen.
Go ahead.
And bondwomen.
That's exactly what they was doing to the North American Indians around about the same time they was doing it to you.
Come on.
These curses only fit the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. What other nation went into slavery like that? You know what I mean? Go ahead. Give me a second address where you probably won't be able to get it. Whoever got an apocrypha, grab. Let me see that apocrypha if you could. Grab where the North American Indians was brought over here, where they came to Arsenal. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna call for that. For bondmen and for bondwomen is what happened to us, all of us. There ain't no tribe in the nation of Israel that did not get taken and put into slavery. Not one. You understand? And we ain't talking about the 13th tribe because that don't exist. The Jewish man, he's a bastard. He's not you. Read on. Don't worry about that. You can stop right there. Go ahead, Kawan.
And killing the rest.
And doing what to him?
And killing the rest.
Whatever he need, he killed it. That's a savage to me. That's what savages do. Go ahead,
But the Pequot nation had not agreed to the peace treaty.
They did what?
Had not agreed to the peace treaty.
Go ahead.
Squanto had negotiated and they fought back.
Now, these brothers was not in agreement to the white man because why? They not stupid. I can show you in history where they knew that the white man was going to come over here and do what he did. They been calling them, the Native American Indians been calling them devils before they even came over here. When they first came over here, if you go read the stories of Pocahontas and her people, which is around by the same spot. You know what I'm saying? Her people, they seen this and they called them straight up devils. I got a picture where you can see Pocahontas' father. He's wearing the shield of David just like this, right across his neck, right across his neck. He wearing it, dressed up just like you would dress at the Passover. You know what I'm saying? Now, if if the North American Indians aren't from a tribe of Israel, why in the hell are they wearing shields of David then? For the Kabbalah? People be killing me with that, man. You know what I'm saying? The shield of David is synonymous with the Israelites. Go ahead.
The Pequot War was one of the bloodiest Indian wars ever fought.
And on American soil, this war between this tribe and the white man was one of the most bloodiest, period, on all American soil. But these brothers fought back. They fought back how you not fighting back out there. Nobody wants to fight against Thanksgiving. Everybody just want to open your quiver and let any arrow come on in. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. As a child of God, you cannot do that. As an Israelite, you can't do that. Right. If you're going to call yourself, you love black people and all this, you should not be celebrating the slaughter of your people. Right. You understand? You should not be doing that. That makes no sense. You a traitor to your own race. And a lot of people wasn't aware of this history. That's why we're going to bring it out. Hopefully, the next person who watches this video will say, you know what? Because of this history, I can't do it because I'm going against my blood. Read.
Gonna come. In 1637.
Now we going up more. And now it's not 1614. Now it's 1630 what?
1637.
Go ahead.
Near present day, Groton, Connecticut, over 700 men, women, and children.
How many?
700 men, women, and children.
Men, women, and children. The scriptures say that they wouldn't even regard the old or the young. Or the maiden. You understand? Men, women, and children. Go ahead.
Or the Pequot tribe had gathered for their annual green corn festival.
Go ahead.
Which is our Thanksgiving celebration.
Go ahead.
In the pre-dawn hours, the sleeping Indians were surrounded by the English and Dutch mercenaries, by the English and Dutch mercenaries who ordered them to come outside.
Now imagine back to the hood. Y'all know how it is in the hood. You see a raid happen early in the morning when they catch you when you sleeping. They catch you when you sleeping and they raid your house and then they demand that you come outside. You understand? This is what they did to them. These are the same practices that the white man been doing. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Go ahead, read.
Those who came out were shot.
They were what?
Were shot.
They were what?
Shot.
Good night, read.
Or clubbed to death.
Or what to death?
Or clubbed to death.
Y'all know what a club to death might feel like? You ever been? I'm quite sure probably not a lot of y'all ever been in a fight up against a bat, but I have. Just to block the bat hurts. You understand? Imagine being clubbed to death with it. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I know a lot of my people that actually related to me got beat with clubs at Lynn Park. Dogs sicked on them, hit with water hoses, same type of tactics, man. You understand? And they was getting shot at. That's what the news never told you. They was getting shot. It was a war in Birmingham, where I'm from, against white people and black people. And guess who was helping the black people? Hispanics was. That's what they don't put in the news. They didn't put that in the news. But the Mexicans was helping black people fight against white people in them times. You wanna know why? Because they had to live in the same slums.
Right.
You understand? Even as a child, I remember, you understand, white folks riding in our neighborhood doing what you would call today drive-bys. You understand? They was doing drive-bys in the neighborhood. White people. Now I'm talking about in your hood, stick their gun, they shotgun out the window and say, you got a question? Got a question? Don't sweat. And they stick that gun out the window and guess what they'll do? Alright, niggas, speed away. You niggas, bam, 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 busting at everybody. Don't care who they hit. You understand? So, just notice these tactics that the white man still utilizes today. Go ahead, read.
The terrified women and children huddled inside the longhouse were burned alive.
Damn, they was what?
Burnt alive.
This is for your Thanksgiving feast. This is why the Lord hates these feast days and despises your holidays.
That's right.
Because they based on, like I was telling you last night, how the Lord gonna love you and love Thanksgiving in the same breath? That's just like saying you love a white woman. How you gonna love a white woman and then love your people in the same breath? That's oxymoronic, right? It don't work. It can't work.
Right.
You can't say you love somebody and then hate them at the same time.
Right.
It don't work like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not built to do that. Either you gonna love them or you gonna hate them. Ain't no in between.
Right.
But the white man was shooting them when they came outside or clubbing them to death, clubbing them to death. And if they didn't come out, he burned them in their tents, man.
Right.
Burned them alive in their tents. You talking about black women and children.
Right.
That's what you're talking about. Imagine that happening today to your family. Imagine that happening to your family. 20 years from now, and they celebrate it and call it Thanksgiving. Who gonna eat to that? So you should not eat to that today. It's the same feast. They came and killed your people. If you got any questions or any comments, let's reserve them for me. If you got any, just raise your hand and I'll answer your questions or your comments. All right? No sweat. Go ahead, read.
The next day, the governor of Massachusetts Bay Colony declared a day of Thanksgiving
Good night.
because
Wait, hold on. What day after that?
a day of Thanksgiving.
No. Read the first part of that.
The next day.
The what day?
The next day.
The next day after they just spilled the blood of your people. Yours. Same blood, all of that. The next day, the very next day, they did what?
The next day, the governor of Massachusetts Bay Colony declared a day of Thanksgiving because 700 unarmed men, women, and children have been murdered.
Good night. He did it because of, like, there would be no Thanksgiving if they never slaughtered them kids. That's children. You understand what I'm telling you? The white man is the face of terrorism.
That's right.
He is the face of terrorism. Even today, I shared a video on my Facebook page. A white boy got a damn gun in his hand and some knives talking about, "Don't come near me, nigger." He looked like the weakest little white boy you will ever find in your life. But he hates you and he will kill you. That's something that we found out, and I guarantee you he's going to be in church on Christmas and on Easter and on Sunday, because the same God that our people are serving is the same God that the Ku Klux Klan got.
Right.
The same God that, who else? Muhammad got.
Right.
That's all Satan worship.
Right.
Satan the goddamn angel. What you worshiping him for? You know what I mean? But they will follow him easily. So, read on. I want to bring this history out because it's deep. Read.
Cheered by their victory.
They did what? They what?
Cheered by their victory.
And they loved it. They cheered about this, man. This is why in every home in America, these white people, they not stupid to this history. They not blind. They love their history. I don't care what they did. They love it because it makes them great. Donald Trump, what he said, make America great again? I bet you he's sitting down right now with a turkey. You understand? Carving a turkey and doing the cranberry sauce and all that. He's doing it because he knows their history. He not blind to it. But you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians don't give a damn about your history.
Right.
Why? Because it's time to turn up. It's time to get high. It's time to go club. It's time to dress like a pimp and act like a whore and all the other different type of abominations that you can get yourself into. That's why. You own your iPhone. You own your I got an iPhone. I ain't got no beef against the iPhone. I love to use them. But I'm not on my iPhone and not, you understand, aware about what's going on with my people.
Right.
This don't distract me from doing what I got to do. You know what I mean? And it shouldn't distract. But a lot of people really do just live to be entertained.
Right.
And those same people who just live to be entertained are money. They treasure for somebody else. Mm-hmm. Meaning, I'm going to break it down for you. The white man know how to make you spend your money because he know all you want to do is be entertained.
Right.
If you don't want to be entertained, then you want to entertain somebody. That's what they dissolved black people into wanting to do. Just be entertained or entertain. If you ain't feeling good, then it's a problem. If you're not feeling great, then who cares? It don't work for me. I'm seeing this on the social media all day, every day. If you don't make me feel good, then excuse my French, fuck you. That's what you see all on the news, everywhere you go. In the social media, everywhere you go from black people. If it ain't making you feel good, benefiting you and how you feel, they don't care. Thanksgiving makes you feel good. It takes your mind off of what's real going on out here. The reality of life. When you can sit down and emulate feeling how white people feel. You not only are you like really celebrating their triumph over your people.
Right.
A brutal massacre that they did on your people.
Right.
Yet the white man say, what did he say about that last shooting? The worst shooting in U.S. history. That's a goddamn lie. That's a lie. The worst terrorist acts that the white man ever did was to you.
Right.
And it's a lot of people celebrating it today. That's 700 plus people, men, women, and children that died. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, it was over 3,000 men, women, and children. Don't think they was just killing men. They was killing young black women, raping them. They was killing young black men, raping them, torturing them, hanging them, dismembering them, everything. This is actually true. I should have got the damn article that Lamont had. Like, it's really gruesome about what they did. And why they did it was over jealousy. Because 20 years removed from slavery, y'all doing more than they ever did in 200 years. And they had a 200-year head start. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, you was 40 years removed from slavery. After 40 years removed from slavery, you already had thriving cities, your own economy. You invented the number system. Madam C.J. Walker was the richest woman on the planet. On the planet, you understand? Also, what else was happening? You had your own hospitals, your own airport, airlines, everything. You ain't need them for nothing. And they was in the Great Depression, and they was jealous. The white man and the devil, the Bible speaks of.
That's right. That's right.
Real talk. It don't get no more graphic than this. And this is to your own people. Y'all want to celebrate Tulsa, Oklahoma Day, and go get a feast and say thank God for Tulsa, Oklahoma. Go ahead,
Did you want that article? I don't want that. I got it.
Oh no. That's not yet. Let me get through this one first, and then we'll get through that. But celebrating Thanksgiving is like getting a feast in your house out and saying we grateful for what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Might as well. You doing the same thing about Thanksgiving. The same thing happened. White people killed your people, massacred you.
Yeah.
What the hell you celebrate the triumph of their nation over you? Read on.
Right.
Cheered by their victory, the brave colonists and their Indian allies attacked.
Hold on, Indian what?
Indian allies.
These so-called Christian pastors, they leaders, and your Martin Luther King, he was a damn traitor. He was a traitor to blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians. Because he was an ally to white people. Y'all understand what happened with Martin Luther King and how he hijacked that whole movement? And he took it from what it was about to be, turned it into what you have today. Who familiar with that? You familiar with that? How Martin Luther King, let me tell you what black people was about to do. Black people was about to march to Washington, D.C. and lay down on the airport and stop all the traffic. Ground every plane. That's what they was about to do. They was about to go and boycott the buses. Nobody was going to be using them at all. That's what they was about to do. They weren't going to go back to work no more. Imagine if that's what you would have followed instead of following Martin Luther King punk ass. Right? Imagine if you did that. What the white man wouldn't give to you for you to stop.
Right.
Could you please stop? We'll give you your own cities. We'll give you your own bus. Like right now, if Kobe, I mean it's not Kobe. If Stephen Curry right now said, I'm not ever going to shoot another basketball until every white cop is out of my neighborhoods, abroad, here in America and abroad, we police our own. Man, do you know what white people would do to make that happen? If LeBron James said that, white people would move. They would never shoot another black man. Why? Because you got enough power with a basketball. With a basketball. Because by these brothers shooting a basketball, they running your whole economy. And you still give it. What Commander General Hunter was bringing this out the other day. When LeBron James, go ahead.
He was bringing out how when LeBron James left Cleveland, how the whole economy shut down in Cleveland, and LeBron James brought them. He stimulated regentrified that whole downtown. And General Yana was mentioning how it takes over $10-15 billion to regentrify something, and LeBron James caused that. Just him leaving, he caused it to regentrify, and he caused it to shut down.
Now, let me ask you a question. How many millions goes into 1 billion? How many? Anybody know? Raise your hand if you know.
I believe it's 1,000. I don't know.
1,000. So 1,000 millions is what makes 1 billion. You sure? I mean, Lamar, that's my math man. How many millions does it take to make 1 billion?
Billion? No. I don't know what. 100?
Nope.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Shalaki, it's 1,000.
That's 1,000. If you have $1,000 million, like I'm just trying to break it down for you. They paying goddamn LeBron James $100 million to build Cleveland back up. He generated $10 billion. That's the equivalent of a slave's portion. They should be paying him a couple billion.
Come.
He just put life in the entire city. And I guarantee you, I know what he doing right now. Who know what he doing right now? Raise your hand.
I'm sorry, celebrating Thanksgiving.
He doing what?
Celebrating Thanksgiving.
He is celebrating Thanksgiving right now. Like a damn idiot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. That's exactly what he doing.
That's right.
Celebrating Thanksgiving. Alright? So read on.
The brave colonists and their Indian allies attacked village after village.
They did what?
Attacked village after village.
Now the white man and his bloodthirsty lust for killing you. Now he didn't even stop there. Now he's on what?
Attacked village after village.
After village after village after village, and to the tune of 20 million Native American Indians are dead. And now you got a city over it called Chicago, Milwaukee, New York City, Boston, Atlanta. You understand? Miami. They had to kill your people to get that. And you saying, God, I want to be thankful for this turkey, and you know my family, they're here to gather together, and we love you, and God loves everything, and that's a lie. America was built off the blood of your people.
Come.
Give me Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 12. That's what it was built off. You understand? Your blood, your sins. You know what I mean? So read some more of that article.
Women and children over 14 were sold into slavery.
I'm sorry. What?
Women and children over 14 were sold into slavery.
Women and children that was over the age of 14 was what happened to them?
Sold into slavery.
They were sold into slavery. If you was over 14, you were sold into slavery. Go ahead.
I got the scripture.
All right, go ahead, read it.
Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 12. Woe to him that buildeth.
It says what to him?
Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood.
What does it mean, woe? What does the scripture, when the scripture say woe, what does it mean? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you know what woe means. Go ahead.
Destruction.
Destruction. Death. Woe. Woe to him who does what?
That buildeth a town with blood.
What you reading about with Thanksgiving, what people are celebrating right now on Thanksgiving, is the white man building America with the blood of your ancestors. The Lord said death to him. Read on now. Not you, come on. Read on.
Kana will come. Establish a city by iniquity.
By what?
By iniquity.
How was him establishing America in iniquity? Anybody know? Go ahead, Al.
Salakia, sir. You know what I'm saying? It's iniquity because it was murder. You know what I'm saying? And it's a sin to just plain out murder somebody. You know what I'm saying?
That is true. You understand? If y'all could, please. If y'all could. That's true. But the way that they established America with iniquity, I give somebody else a try if you want to try. That's right, though, but it's a little bit deeper than that. How did the white man establish America with iniquity? Go ahead.
Salakia, sir, because he came over and first he stole, you know what I'm saying, a land that didn't belong to him in the first place. You understand? Which, you know, the stealing the Bible, that's a sin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then not only did he steal it, you know what I'm saying, he, you know what I'm saying, lied his way, you know what I'm saying, he made peace treaties with and broke every single one of them.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying, which he made promises and whatnot and broke every single one of them. You know what I'm saying? Then he raped, robbed, murdered, pillaged, did everything evil that you can even think of to a people that's innocent. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. But what's the biggest sin that he did? What's the biggest wrong that he did to Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians?
To steal the culture.
He wiped your culture out.
Yeah.
He totally wiped your culture out to where now you got these people that's out here celebrating Thanksgiving with your blood in their veins.
Right.
And they have no clue who they are. They really think they're Americans. I'm keeping it real with you out. Like they really think they're Americans. I know we all know in this room inside of here, we all know who we are. But you be surprised, right next door, you go right next door, they don't know who the hell they are.
Come.
Not at all. You ask them what their nationality is, they would not know. And that's a crime against the Lord.
That's right.
That's a major crime. Even when we was in slavery in under the Romans, under the Greeks, we knew who we were. We knew who we was. They never wiped our culture up out of us then. But the best way you can straight up isolate a people from their own soul is to wipe out their whole knowledge of who they are. And that took this kind of activity, this type of massacre. You understand? They'll take a strong black man like y'all and in front of the women and the children, cut your balls off. That's graphic, ain't it? They'll cut your balls off, cut your rod off, have sex with you in front of anybody, and then straight up emasculate the black man. And so he do that to you strong brothers. You understand? How everybody else gonna feel? They gonna feel like you can protect them? Nah. They gonna say, man, our strongest warriors can't even protect us. We might as well give in. I used to be Kunta Kinte, now I'm Toby. Yeah, that's real. They really did that to us. You know what I'm saying? Those people that came aboard those slave ships were Israelites. They had Israelite names. They were speaking Hebrew. And when the Native American Indians seen the white man bringing us in slavery, guess what he did? Stormed the plantations, killed everybody in the plantations, and brought y'all back to live with them in the tribes. And made y'all the chiefs of their tribes. Real talk. Real talk. Go look up somebody named Red Horse. What's that his name? You probably don't know. Longhorn or Red Horse. That was a Judite. He was a Judite who if you can find that in Black Indians. Go read that book. Don't nobody got that book. Go find Black Indians. And it talks about him. John Horse, that's his name. He was a chief of Native American Indian tribe. He was an ex-slave, I believe. And he was dark just like you and me. But they brought North American Indians brought y'all back to their tribes, and y'all reigned and y'all lived with them. If y'all was African speaking Ibuku, how you gonna relate to Native American Indians? How could you even start to talk to them? You can't. So they had to know something. They had to speak something. They spoke Hebrew, man. Stop letting the white man trick everybody. It ain't that hard to find out we was speaking Hebrew. I mean, the slaves over here, they wasn't calling white people massa because they didn't know how to say master. That ain't why. Anybody in here know why they called the white man massa?
There wasn't our original language.
It was what?
It wasn't our English wasn't our original language.
That's true. So why would they call him massa?
I guess that's how they pronounced it. Like,
Hold on, let them try again. Knowing that they didn't speak English, and they speaking amongst each other, and let's say me and you, we on the same plantation. We bulling over here on the side, you know, probably shooting dice, whatever the case may be. And I say, oh, I'm in our language. I say, Massa, you know, he coming, the white man coming. Why would they say Massa instead of? They not saying, here comes the slave master. They not saying that. What could they be saying?
was it something else like monster or something?
And anybody want to give it a try? ZQ?
Slagia, sir, you know what I'm saying? I know, you know, what I learned, the word massa means like oppressor.
In what language?
In Hebrew.
In what?
In Hebrew.
That's why. Because they were speaking Hebrew. That's where the word massa comes from. It's a Hebrew word which means you translate it into oppressor. Your oppressor. That's where it came from. Black people been speaking Hebrew. They've been talking about swing low, sweet chariot. Why would they say swing low, sweet chariot if they Africans? You know what I'm saying? Why? Because the white man, he fantasized the whole Egyptian movement, talking about, you know, the aliens came and built the pyramids and all that. That's a goddamn lie. The Bible tell you who built the pyramids.
Right.
Who built the pyramids was you black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's who did it with a vigorous slavery. So, read on.
Women and children over 14 were sold into slavery, while the rest were murdered.
While the rest were what?
While the rest were murdered.
So if you wasn't over the age of 14, you was killed. If you was a little black boy or a little black girl, you were straight up killed. Read on.
Boats loaded.
Boats what?
Boats loaded.
Y'all understand how big these boats were that had to go from here to England and back? Those were big boats. Those were vessels. Loaded. Go ahead.
Boats loaded with as many as 500 slaves. Regularly left the ports.
How did they do this?
Regularly left the ports.
They regularly did this. When it says that this regularly happened, what is it saying? Y'all all right? Y'all good over there? Everything too wild? How does that, when it's saying that it regularly happened, that means this happened every day in, day night. It was a regular thing. It was common for you to see ships full of North American Indians going over to Europe and back. That was it was actually a business.
Come.
You understand? The same way you came over here, it was a business. It's been documented. Go ahead, read.
Regularly left the ports of New England.
Go ahead.
Bounties were paid for Indian scalps.
For Indian scouts?
Indian scalps.
Good night. They were scalping you too. Good night, read.
To encourage as many deaths as possible.
To encourage what?
As many deaths as possible.
They was encouraging, like they would encourage black men to grow up and be a basketball player. They was encouraging as many deaths of your people as they could possibly do. Read on.
Following an especially successful raid against a Pequot and what
a successful what?
A successful raid.
White people raiding black people today. Read.
Against the Pequot in what is now Stamford, Connecticut. The churches announced a second day of Thanksgiving to celebrate victory over the heathen savages.
Man, Thanksgiving ain't nothing but white people killing you, calling you savages, murdering and pillaging and throwing you into slavery. That's all it's about. That's it. Any questions? No questions. This is scripture breakdown class. Go ahead.
Can I make a quick statement out of one?
Go ahead, Rapayada.
I wanted to also mention how, like, in the history books, they love to try to mention that, like, how the white people helped Harriet Tubman on the Underground Railroad. It wasn't the white people that helped Harriet Tubman, it was the Native Indians. That's how she knew the land so well, to help so many slaves escape in routes that they didn't know, because they didn't take the normal routes. They only took the routes that the Native Americans taught her and stuff like that. So, you know, she got help from the Native Indians. So that, with that being said, it's like that's a lie with the white man helping the blacks and stuff like that. You know, the white man never helped the blacks. Run from slavery. Instead, he Schlocky. It was the Native Indians that actually helped.
Damn right. Hey, look. You got something you want to say?
Yeah, we got that.
Okay, no sweat. What he bringing out is how blacks and Hispanics always relied on one another to help each other. You understand? Like, we always relied on each other. And Black Wall Street was Native Indians and black people living together. It wasn't just what you would call Negroes. It was Native Indians working with you for Black Wall Street. You know what I'm saying? Of course, black Hispanics, they band together because they got a common enemy. There's a video out there that I did in my lecture, that I used in my lecture, where this Native Indian chief was saying to blacks that we need to come together. And he said, we've been coming in together ever since y'all came off them boats. We've been helping y'all against these white people, our common enemy.
That's right.
Because we brothers. This is exactly what he said. He said, because we brothers. We the same people. We got the same enemy. And we need to come back together like we did in the beginning against white people, because they are our common enemy. Because together, that's the only way we're going to win. This is what a Native Indian chief said. You understand? So, yeah, what Rapayala is saying is right. You know what I'm saying? Because I know all the history of Harriet Tubman. You know what I mean? And that's true. So, did you know where he left off?
Come.
Don't swear. Read from there. Matter of fact, first of all, if I could, this is, if don't nobody know out there, put the camera on Officer Rapayala. You know what I mean? The live. You understand? This brother right here been here in Milwaukee, you know what I'm saying, serving Milwaukee as a priest of the Lord for a long time. You know what I mean?
That's right.
For a long time. And it's about time we came and put a force behind him to make this city exactly the greatness that we know is in here.
That's right.
Real talk. There's some strong brothers out here in Milwaukee that need to come up under the umbrella of the Israelite School of UPK. You understand?
Right.
So get a brother a hand, man, for holding it down. We're going to make sure that Chicago, ISBK, going to make sure we come out here and help this brother do what he got to do to raise this up. We'll be out here every month to come and do what we need to do. If the weather say we can go to camp, we gonna go to camp and call a white man the devil all day. We love to do that.
That's
You
right.
understand? And smash any other doctrine that come up, any other. I know y'all probably got IUIC. You seen some purple shirts out here before? Good. I was hoping you said yeah. I was about to say where you seen them at. Go ahead, Rapaz.
We got GMS out here, dog.
You know you got GMS. You know what I'm saying? They a mess. You understand? We seen them out here. We first came out here. They standing. These brothers are staying at a bus stop where nobody's at. A bus stop that's like on the corner, nobody there. They talking into the bus stop. Nobody ain't even there. And not downtown, not where you got the most traffic at. Them brothers need medicine. You know how people be like on Ritalin and stuff like that? That's what they need, man. You know what I mean? But anyway, back to Thanksgiving. They probably GMS got white people in their camp, all right? And them white people, they probably get them to cut the turkey tonight. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real. Or they'll call it this is a feast for appreciation of America, because thou shalt not abhor Edomite. Hell out of here with that. But you got what it is? All right, let's get it.
During the feasting, the hacked off heads of the natives.
Good night. The what type of head?
The hacked off heads of the natives.
That's like Al Qaeda. When you see how Al Qaeda be hacking people's heads off, all that. This is the same terrorism that the white man talking about he don't want to see. He did it to your people.
Right.
Read.
That's right. Were kicked through the streets like soccer balls.
I'm sorry. What?
Were kicked through the streets like soccer balls.
That's how they feel about your head. Good night. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because go ahead, bro.
So like, is that where like the football come from?
That's where your ball games come from in America. That's where they come from.
So they use like, pig skin, which is weird because they can use any material, but they use like specifically skin to do it.
They use black men's skin to make wallets. They use black and Hispanic and Native Indian men and women's skin. Commander General Hunter brought this out, about a year ago? Mm-hmm. They use your skin to make wallets, purses, cigar boxes, books, book covers, and all that. Your skin. You understand? That's what they did. Yeah, you can get this brother that. Hey, go ahead and take that out. Go ahead and take that. So you think, now that's why I be so skeptical about the things that I buy. Because you never know. You think you got leather from something else, but it could be a black man's leather that you got on your wallet in your pocket. You understand? It could be a black woman you got holding your money in your pocket. Real talk, man. That's how diabolical the white man is. You got more?
Come. Even the friendly Wampanoag did not escape the madness.
Go ahead.
Their chief was beheaded, and his head was impaled on a pole in Plymouth, Massachusetts.
And let me tell you something. People be hearing us talk about what we're gonna do to the white man when we take rulership out. We be saying, "Oh, I'm gonna kill all the white people I see, enslave the ones that I want to build my land, and then I'm gonna leave their head hanging off the highway and all that." And they look at us like we wrong for that. Like we wrong for that. Find me the scripture where in Revelations 18, where it was talking about we're gonna reward her double. You understand? Find that scripture, real justice, and then get 13 and 9. You got it?
Come on, sir.
Read.
Revelations chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people."
Come out of Thanksgiving, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Go ahead.
"That ye be not partakers of her sins."
Because what the white man did to your people to celebrate Thanksgiving and have that freedom, this is what the hell you fight for. This is what black, Hispanics, and Native Indians join the white man's military to go fight for the murder of your people. A country that stands on the murder of your people, and they call it freedom. We fight for you. We fight for y'all freedoms. Freedom to do what? Freedom to do what? Go ahead,
Where it remained on display for 24.
Y'all were done. Slack.
Come. "And that ye receive not of her plagues.
Read on.
For her sins have reached unto heaven. And God have remembered her iniquities.
Read.
Reward her even as she rewarded you.
Give her what she gave you. Go ahead.
And double.
And what?
And double.
It's gonna be double the heads of white people where I'm at. You understand? And I'm telling you right now, if you live on my land, you're gonna get used to the practice of killing devils on a regular. That's gonna be a regular thing. Just cause if my wife cried, you know what? Let's kill the devil. Let's make you feel good.
That's right.
This should make you feel great. Let's kill this devil real quick. Which tool you want to use today? If that don't make a black woman happy to kill a devil or to see him die, I don't know what I can do for you. You understand? Especially when you looking at Thanksgiving and all of the madness that they celebrate in America. If you see that and that don't make you happy to see white people die, because when I see white people on the news and I see that they die or they shooting other white people, that makes me so happy. It brightens my whole day up. I could be then had so much on my mind and damn near about to blow on everybody. And then when I look in the news and see the white man that shot 50 people in the crowd and they was all white, man, good night. I say that was for Trayvon Martin. That was for Mike Brown.
Right.
That was for Philando Castile. That was for all these brothers, man, that died. That was for Sandra Bland, Eric Gardner. That was for Emmett Till. All of these people that be dying. Y'all be thinking that the Lord won't work on your behalf, but he will.
That's right.
And then say, oh, you ain't think it was for you? Let's do it again. Now a devil go in a white church, kill everybody. Because a devil went in a black church and killed 9 people. Now triple got to die.
Right.
Because you killed these people. Even though they Christians,
Right.
even though they hate the Lord's still showing them that he loves you.
Come.
And you gonna go celebrate some goddamn Thanksgiving. on top of that. That's why you can look forward, like I was telling the brother yesterday, you can look forward to the coldest winters you've ever seen coming up. You can look forward to the craziest hurricane seasons on earth. You can look forward to earthquakes and famines and more crime and more the white man cracking down on you.
Come.
That's what you can look forward to, since you want to show the Lord how much you love him, because he's showing you how much he loves you and acting on your behalf. But you instead go celebrate these holidays and eat all the pork you can eat. Somebody showed me on FaceTime today some goddamn chitlins in the pot. Damn near threw up in my mouth.
Right.
You understand? Like, shalom with all that. You know what I mean? Like, read on. You can read what you got.
Come.
The Lord said we're going to reward them double for what they did to us. Go ahead.
Like sir, I just wanted to bring out that Dylan Roof Storm, the guy that went into the black church,
He ain't dead yet?
I believe they probably sentenced him. I don't know if they did or not. But
Somebody look that up in the room. See what his sentences is or something. Go ahead.
He got sentenced to death, but he ain't dead yet. He should have been dead the next day.
They probably kill him when he's 80. Go ahead.
but America raised like $4 million for this bill.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They brother.
Yeah, for sure. That's they brother. That's how they feel. You killing niggas, that's great. That's good business for America. Yeah, keep them in check. Cause you niggas is starting to get these beards back, and you starting to look like these people in the scriptures. Boy, you scared white people. Y'all know how I feel to walk down the block and they look at you and be like, oh my God, grab your purse. Grab this, grab that. You know what I'm saying? Hurry up and move. White people got that little silly walk anyway. You know what I'm saying? They get out your damn way when you looking like priest of the Lord. Man, they don't know what to do. So the best thing they can do is kill you. White people are more comfortable when you die. Obviously, we reading in the history. And they will celebrate your death, because that means they got a victory. You understand? So yeah, what you saying is right. $4 million they raised up. How many people throwing their funds in the Israelite school of UPK so we can raise y'all up? How many? You wanna know why? Because you hate black people.
Right.
There's one white person, one Edomite, does an act like killing 9 people. All white people supported him. Quickly. Little did you know, Donald Trump probably sent the mail. You understand? The same people, white people, racism in America, to me, I love it. I don't know how y'all feel, but I love it. I love when white people don't want to be nowhere around me, because I don't want to be nowhere around them.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I love it. But the moment you start killing my people, then we got a problem. Feel what I'm saying? So, as of right now, the Lord said we're going to be fisher of men. But then we're going to be hunters. And fuck with us in that day. You understand? Deal with us then, and then you'll see what type of men you really dealing with. You know what I mean? And we ain't got to, you know. But that's another story. Go ahead. Read, Rupa.
Where it remained on display for 24 years.
I'm sorry. What remained on display for 24 years?
The head of the chief.
So, that's oppression. Your chief leader, your spiritual leader, the man you look for guidance and protection. Now you got to walk up and down the streets and see his head on a platter for 24 years. That's a whole lifetime. Your next generation got to see what happens to niggas or Hispanics when they rebel against the white man.
That's right.
And what you think that does to a race? What do you think it does to a race, It makes you weak. Go ahead.
Demoralized.
It damn right. It demoralizes you to where you think, well, life ain't really about nothing. If we can never win, it beats you down into the ground.
Right.
And it makes you more susceptible to Christianity, to following the white supremacy. You understand? That's what it does to you. But thank the Lord for men who really gonna stand up.
That's right.
Because that's what it takes. You got to be no coward to do what we do.
That's right.
Considering what they doing to us every day. They call this ancient, that old history. That ain't old history. It's been happening in America for hundreds of years. It's the same thing. Ain't nothing new.
That's right.
But black people like act like it's new or it ain't nothing new. Read.
The killings became more and more frenzied, with days of Thanksgiving feasts being held after each successful massacre.
Good night, yo. Read on, man.
George Washington, George Washington
On your $1 bill, George Washington. George Washington. He got a mountain with his face on it for killing niggas and Hispanics. This is what makes America great. This is why America loves its own and will support its own.
Right.
You understand? So when you dealing with people like George Washington had straight up slaves.
Right.
You understand? He wasn't nobody pure. You understand? Read on.
George Washington finally suggested, because there were too many massacres, that only one day of Thanksgiving per year be set aside instead of celebrating each and every massacre.
So after every massacre, they would have a feast. But now George Washington saying, you know what, instead of having a feast every day, let's just have one once a year. And they was killing people, your people, on a regular basis every Thanksgiving. Every last one. And then George Washington said, man, it's a little bit too excessive. So instead of having a Thanksgiving feast, like they doing tonight, a feast, every time they raided a black person or Hispanic community, guess what happened? Now he said, let's just do it once. Now you can concentrate all of the energy that you have from killing these niggas and these Indians every year into one day and make it great. This is your George Washington. This is the American forefather. You understand? Now, considering the fact that this is what America built their country on, that they giving thanks today to their God and to themselves because of the massacre that they did to your people, what scripture pops in your head?
So like it, sir, what scripture pops in my head is the scripture in Revelations. You know what I'm saying? When it's telling like it.
I'm going to reword it for you. Because they build their whole entire country off the massacre of your people, and they walking up and down America cool about it. And on Thanksgiving, they spit in your face that turkey and that cranberry sauce, which represents the blood of your people, and the damn turkey, which represents the head of your people, when they killed you and slaughtered you. These white people walk around like they ain't commit no crimes against you, like they holy, like they the most pure thing on the planet. What would you say to them at a camp? Go ahead.
The scripture about that they hunt the steps.
That's a good one. That's a good one. But who's going to make them pay for what they did, Ak? What scripture can you use to justify that these white people today got to die for what George Washington did? Says you want to try?
Is it over that one?
That's a good one. That's a good one. It is. Cut them off from being a nation. I mean, cut them off of the face of the earth, the white man. But I want something specific. This is one of them UPK one West Bangers. Go ahead.
Shalaki Adawan, is it if you take in captivity, you shall be led into captivity? I'm paraphrasing.
No. Lamar?
Isaiah 14 and 21.
That's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I want. Isaiah 14 and 21. Because George Washington got a mountain with his face on it, right next to 3 other slave owners that was in history who hated black people and built their country on the blood of your people. And now they celebrate Thanksgiving off the backs of your people.
Right.
They rich because your people had to die.
That's right.
And bleed.
That's right.
Once again, we was talking about Cleveland. Cleveland, their economy booming because of one black man. One. LeBron James. And if he leave Cleveland, their whole economy is done. When LeBron James left Cleveland, what do white people say about him? Anybody know? Nobody knows? Go ahead.
The owner called him a coward.
And there was people on YouTube burning his jersey saying, fuck this nigga. Just like that. Straight up. Oh, you want to leave and go there? Fuck LeBron James. And they burned his jersey. That's what they did. That's how they really feel about it. If you ain't making no money, then to hell with you. That's how they feel about you.
Okay.
That was their whole economy of Cleveland. All right? You know how many jobs LeBron James created in Cleveland? How many people ate off his back that wasn't his own? Scholarships, everything. You know what I mean? Everything, just off of one man.
That's right.
And because the forefathers of this country, them white devils, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, who else on damn Mount Rushmore? Abraham Lincoln. Is it Bill Franklin or Teddy Roosevelt? Benjamin Franklin. That's another one of them devils, boy. Ooh wee! I wish I could see good night. I want them in slavery. I want them on that same mountain that they built, looking for gold. That's what I want to do. Ain't no gold up there, but I want to. You know what I'm saying? Who's seen the movie Life? I want to turn big rocks into little rocks. That's what I want to do because they did it to us. I want to die doing it too.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Who got that scripture that I was asking for?
Come on.
Ezekiel, read it.
Come on. Isaiah chapter 14 verse 21. Prepare slaughter.
Do what?
Prepare slaughter.
When the scriptures say prepare slaughter, the Lord is first of all talking to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the Israelites, who are in today's time, as you know, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. He's telling the warriors of your nation to prepare slaughter like you would prepare a meal. You understand? How you will set up for the meal, you get it all chopped up, you know what I'm saying? Get all your stuff together, prepared, so you can cook a meal. The Lord is telling you to prepare slaughter, which means war. Prepare warfare. You ain't supposed to be out here talking about I want to shoot a basketball, and that's what I wish that I could do. I want to grow up to be a basketball player. To hell with being a basketball player. All of them are sellouts. All of them selling out.
Right.
They all celebrating Thanksgiving today. Go ahead.
I got a question. Why you say that? Like, everybody that's a basketball player is sellout? Like, why is it in the game?
Let me ask you a question. What's LeBron James doing right now? What could you say you know he's doing right now?
As far as what? Like
he doing what? He eating Thanksgiving. To celebrate Thanksgiving means you will sell out to blacks and Hispanics. Period.
That's right.
That's what the whole class is about. They selling out and they know it's wrong. But because America wants them to do it, they gonna celebrate it.
That's right.
And if they don't, if they go against their contract, you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna lose their job, they're gonna lose their money, they're gonna lose their power, their whores, their weed, everything that they love. Go ahead.
So can I ask you something else? How you feel about like the Colin Kaepernick situation?
Colin
You think
Kaepernick.
he sell out too?
Is he? Hell no. Hell no. Give him a hand, as a matter of fact. Because Colin Kaepernick is still not playing. He's still not playing. Everybody who plays sports should follow what Colin Kaepernick is doing. Everybody. And instead of playing for the white man's league, they should build their own league.
That's right.
You know how many people are in the NFL that's black and Hispanic? 98% of that whole league is black or Hispanic.
That's right.
It's just 2% white. You and I both know this. It's the same about the NBA. Black and Hispanics, they run it. They getting paid millions of dollars. If they all was to form a federation and say, you know what, everybody, let's put 10 million or 15 million. LeBron James making 100 million. That's an investment. If I was going to invest in anything, I'll invest into a new NBA, Niggas Basketball Association.
That's right.
And then I'll put my money in my community. I'll put it on the south side of Chicago. I'll build an arena on the south side of Chicago and bring money to the south side of Chicago.
That's right.
I wouldn't let white people come set up no concession stands and make no jerseys or none of that. I'll build whole factories that make my own jerseys for me. I have my own. It's so many brothers who do social media outlets and they doing their own media. They got their own news channels and everything like that on YouTube right now. I would employ them to come and broadcast my games.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? It can get back to where black people can generate their own economy.
That's right.
But when you do that, who gonna protect that economy? The Israelite school of UPK, we already got an army to do that.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to, I guarantee you, Colin Kaepernick, because he's a Christian, he most likely is carving some turkey too, right now. But is he going to work? No. Because he actually is learning to love black people more than anybody. All he asking for is, damn, I'll throw a football for you, but can y'all stop killing my people? You know how, give me the story about Moses when he looked on his people. Moses was super rich in Egypt. Moses had money and power in Egypt, in ancient Egypt. He didn't have to do what he did. He turned his back on his whole status, social status, because he found out that he was a Hebrew Israelite. And then realized that his people is the ones that built Egypt and made it great. How the hell can I say I love my people and then in the same breath still work for Egypt? Go ahead, you got it? Go ahead, read.
Exodus chapter 2, verse 11.
What Colin Kaepernick is doing out is borderline biblical. Read.
And it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown, that he went out unto his brethren.
He went out unto his what?
Brethren.
Go ahead.
And looked on their burdens.
Now, after Moses found out that he was an Israelite, same way y'all brothers is, how many of y'all, both of y'all knew that y'all was Israelites? By blood?
Yeah.
Y'all knew it?
I knew.
You knew
I was
it?
trying to tell him that before we came. I was telling him that.
No sweat. Y'all Israelites. Period. And if you want us to prove it, we'll prove it for you. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're here for. It's a scripture breakdown class. I'm also a history major, so I can break that down for you in history too.
That's right.
But the Lord put the Spirit on somebody to show Moses that he wasn't an Egyptian. He wasn't from them Africans. He wasn't no African. That he was actually an Egyptian. That he was actually an Israelite, not an Egyptian. And when he found out, now he looked upon his people. And go ahead.
And he spied an Egyptian smiting in Hebrew.
Now he's seeing a black man getting beat down, Rodney King beat down from an Egyptian. Like, how many of y'all seen on social media where a black man or a black man, put it like that, is taping and watching another black man get his ass beat up by the police
Instead of helping?
That's a coward.
That's right.
That's right. I ain't got no time to pick up no phone. I'm going to die with my brother.
That's right.
Or he gonna die, one or the other. That's the type of spirit that's growing in black young men today because of the work that these men do.
That's right.
That spirit is coming back on the earth. That's why Colin Kaepernick, he got a level of shame about himself, saying, I can't keep playing no damn football for no white man, and my brother's in the ghetto. Moses, Moses, at this time right now, Moses still got on all gold, everything. Go ahead, sis.
Slakia. I just saw an article where Colin Kaepernick was on Native Indian reservations. So I don't know if that's, what you call it.
No, that's relative. Actually, I want one of my men, to find that article and read it and study it and bring it back to me. But when it comes to, the way Colin Kaepernick is doing what he's doing for y'all, he doing that for y'all. He ain't going to work for y'all. He don't even know y'all. But he looking on y'all situation and saying, I can't watch this happen no more. He looking at the equivalent to that Egyptian beating on his brother. And he can't sit still and not just do nothing and turn a blind eye to it. That's what all black men got to do now. Or just watch your whole species die. Luckily for you, the Lord said that y'all will never cease to live. But you still will live.
What does that mean?
Meaning that the nation of Israel won't be wiped out.
That's right.
Our people cannot be wiped out. Because we the chosen people of the Lord.
That's right.
But we can be born as crack babies.
That's right.
We can turn gay. We can be drug dealers and hate each other and be slaves. I'm tired of being a slave.
That's right.
I'm tired of it. I want to rule the earth again.
That's right.
We did that before. When we cared about each other like Colin Kaepernick cares about y'all. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Moses did that. And that very same example is what we're reading right now. Read out.
That's right. One of his brethren.
One of his what?
Brethren.
Not somebody from another nation, but he knew that those Hebrews that were being afflicted in Egypt was his brothers. Those was his people. Even though he was rich for being damn near a war general and a prince of Egypt, he could go in his room and say, you know what, bring me 4, 5, 6 of these Egyptian women. Y'all come jump on my ride. Let's smoke some weed, because they were smoking weed back in Egypt too. We can prove that too. That's right. While niggas was in the projects in Egypt. There was projects in Egypt. I'm talking about like you got projects on the south side of Chicago. It was projects in Egypt where the streets were small, everybody bunched in together, hanging out on the porch or hanging out on the roof when it's hot. Same thing what brothers is doing it today. He could have said, you know what? To hell with all that. I'm rich. Same way Lil Wayne will say it. Chris Brown will say it. Jay-Z will say it. If you ain't rich, you ain't nobody to them. Not to Colin Kaepernick and not to Moses. You understand? They wasn't selling out for some money and no fame.
That's right.
You feel what I'm saying? And so he looked down on his brothers who was poor and actually slaving in the ghetto. He looked at them and said, what, Reed?
Salaki. And looked on their burdens.
And looked on their what?
Burdens.
He know you on child support. You understand? He know you beat down mentally for 400 years. That's slavery. He know you can't stay afloat. Your wife getting on your nerves because she's hungry and the kids hungry. You love your family so much. You want to feed them. So you got to hurry up and build these pyramids. You understand? You're trying to escape reality. So you get drunk every day. You get high every day. All of that. You know what I'm saying? You're worshiping Egyptian gods, everything. He looking on the burden of his brothers. Read.
And he spied an Egyptian, and he spied an Egyptian smiting in Hebrew.
And he seen a filthy ass African beating on his brother. That he got enough power over this African because of who he is. He seen that. Read on.
One of his brethren.
One of his what?
Brethren.
Go ahead.
Verse 12. And he looked this way.
And he looked what?
This way.
Like he looked this way. Go ahead.
And that way.
He looked that way. Go ahead.
And when he saw there was no man.
And he seen nobody there. But he see his brother getting beat up by an Egyptian. He like, why he doing that? You know why he doing that?
To see if somebody else saying what he's saying, or?
Go ahead.
To see if he could attack.
Yeah. Because how would you feel? You love this man right here?
Yeah.
If you seen the police doing something to him, and you had an opportunity to kill them, what's the first thing you gonna do before you run over there and kill them?
To see if anybody watching.
This so ain't nobody looking. I'm about to murk this.
Yeah.
For my brother, that's how I'm feeling. That's how every man in this room feels.
That's right.
You understand? We them ex-gang bangers and drug dealers and bank robbers and all of that, ex-pimps, everything you think about. But we loved our brothers enough to say, you know what? You're not finna just shoot my brother and think that you're just gonna have a nice day about it.
Right.
We're gonna come back and retaliate.
That's right.
That's the type of warrior mentality that Moses had, that men in that Bible had, but on the righteous hand side. You feel what I'm saying? So when Moses is seeing his brother getting beat up, he looked this way and that way, try to see if ain't nobody looking, because he about to do something that he know he ain't supposed to do. Read on.
He slew the Egyptian.
You know what that means?
Attack or whatever.
No. He slew the Egyptian. You know what I mean?
Killed him.
He killed him. Right there on the spot.
That's right.
Because he couldn't bear seeing his brother get beat by this officer. By this Egyptian soldier. But it was murder. But he did it out of love of his own brother. Colin Kaepernick ain't murdering nobody. He just wants to take a knee to the same anthem that they made because of Thanksgiving slaughtered and massacred your people. That same anthem. He don't want to stand for that. Because in the same national anthem, there was a third verse that said that you niggas is slaves and ain't nothing gonna save you. Basically, we can pull it right now for you. There's another verse about the national anthem where they talking about black people like a dog. And the same one where everybody, they have pledged allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic and all of that. And then now, let's sing the national anthem. And that same national anthem is talking about the slaughter of your people.
That's right.
For Thanksgiving, and Colin Kaepernick don't want to stand for that. I would stand for it. If I was y'all in this generation, I would be the best I could ever be and learn how to be a warrior. That's what I would do. I learned how hand-to-hand combat, how to shoot guns, arithmetic, war strategies, how to produce and reproduce, agriculture, all of that, science, everything. That's what I'd be doing. I wouldn't be worried about no damn basketball or no football. I'd be worrying about how to conquer the world. Because if you could look out here, all these nations is coming together with their own people. And that's what Moses is saying right now. Read on now.
Khan. And hid them in the sand.
And then he murked them, and then he murked them, and then dug a hole out and put him in the hole, all because he loved his brother. And he looked at the whole society that he grew up thinking he was an Egyptian. Everybody in his face, you Egyptian, and all of that. And he found out they lied to him his whole life. Everything that they said was for him wasn't even for him. He helped them oppress his own people. And found out he was an Israelite and said, fuck Egypt. I'd rather murk one of these people for doing what they doing to my brothers, because that's how strong the love for your people got to be. If not, let me ask you something. Why do you think that Chucky dog went in that church and killed them 9 people? Why do you think he did that? Because he loved white people. Mm-hmm. He loved America enough to murder you. You understand? Because y'all having sex with, not you per se, but my younger generation is having sex with all they little white girls. All of them. That's what the white boy said. I killed them because I'm tired of y'all having sex with white girls. They don't want y'all to be penetrating them like that. Then by the time they done having sex with black men, then they go to the white boy. The white boy, damn, he already ain't blessed. You understand? So he like, what the hell going on? Is she no ceilings, no doorway? Is she like throwing a hot dog down the hallway? He tired of that. You understand? Real talk. So he say, you know what? Let me walk up in this church and kill them. That's how much they love they white women. Here's how much black men love black women. You put them on the TV like whores. Tell them to strip and stack dollars on them. Thinking that's love. Tell her to be a bitch and then how to talk, all this and all that. And then guess what? You really hate them. Because you have sex with her, throw away. Have sex with her, throw away. Pass it to my dog. I'm a dog, I'm a dog. The hell with all that out. You know what I'm saying? And when you live like a dog, don't be mad when a man like me tell you a dog. Waka Flocka was in front of our camp, 3 weeks ago? Mm-hmm. We sunned it. Sun. Calm down, little boy. That's how we did it. Just like that. And y'all go to the club and listen to him like he's somebody great. He ain't nobody to us.
That's right. That's right.
He ain't nobody but a young man.
That's right.
And for somebody like Waka Flocka, who talking about, I go hard in the paint. I go hard in the paint. He gonna tell us we go too hard with the truth. Y'all too militant. That's how he said it. Like he said it soft like that. Y'all too militant. Yo, Waka Flocka, not when he came to us. Y'all too militant, man. I mean, maybe if y'all, calm down a little bit and set it a little softer. You know what I'm saying? Then people will be ready to accept. Well, who gives a fuck who accepts it? As a matter of fact, Christ don't even want everybody to accept it.
That's right.
He wants some of you niggas to die.
Right.
Why? Because you had him put to death your past life. Mm-hmm. Why? Right. Because you sinned in your past life. Everybody in Israel ain't gonna get it.
That's right.
So when you got all these other fake ass Israelite groups out here trying to get everybody, they so thirsty for members that they got to go to Ghana and call an African an Israelite and all that. The Lord gonna put them to death too if they don't change.
That's
you see what I'm saying? Everybody ain't supposed to make it. Brothers like you supposed to be looking at the brothers who got killed by the police and say, man, I don't want to do that. So how can I avoid that? Right. How about you get the Lord on your side? The same spirit that the Lord put in that white boy to kill Mike Brown, he won't put it in the spirit of the white man to kill you when he see you. But on the contrary, white people bow and kiss our boots out in public. Downtown. They kiss our boot here. Kiss it. They kiss my boot. Hold up. Nope. Kiss his boot too. Nah. Stay down there. Come on, Rapayala. Kiss his boot too.
That's right.
Hold on. Come on, y'all. Come get y'all boot kissed.
That's right.
And they kiss these boots, You hear what I'm telling you? Real talk. That's power that I love. That's power that I want. The same power that I'm going to have when I got white people picking my cotton. They going to pick mine. But it all starts off with Colin Kaepernick and black people turning their spirit away from America and gear it towards that only book that's gonna save you, which is the Bible.
That's
You
right.
understand? Everybody knows that the last thing they want to do is look in the mirror and say, I'm a scumbag. I ain't nothing. I never been nothing. My mama lied to me my whole life. I'm living a lie, and weed ain't for me, but it make me feel good, and I want to keep fucking whore, excuse my French, and I want to keep doing this and doing that. But when you address yourself, then you can begin to change somebody else. You're not gonna change yourself, then what's the point?
That's right.
You just part of the problem.
Right.
And that's how white people are comfortable. When they know all you want to do is grow up and shoot a basketball, they comfortable. Because you're going to continue to want to fight. Your life is all about making them money. That's all it's about. The white man love is money. And if you ain't making them no money, then it's to hell with you, man. You see what they doing to Colin Kaepernick. He ain't the best quarterback. You know what I'm saying? But damn, he can throw a football. And he's influencing other black men to not stand for the man. Give it up for Marshawn Lynch. Excuse me. Before there was a Colin Kaepernick, there was Marshawn Lynch. That nigga give him a flyer. Send him up in here, cut them filthy dreads off his head, send him up in here, and let him do some work up in here. But I tell you what, if Marshawn Lynch joined the Israelite School of UPK tomorrow, guess what we're gonna call him? Young man. What's up, young man? How you doing? You was great in the white man's kingdom. You gonna have to earn your rank in here.
That's right.
You understand? If Waka Flocka was to come up in here, what up, young man? Grab that bag. Y'all, make sure these brothers is good. Nobody want no water. Serve these men, so you can learn how to serve your nation. They come up in here, we don't give a damn about their money. We don't give a damn about who they was to the white man. None of that.
That's right.
Who else was in the Israelite School of UPK? We've been here since 1969. Your favorite rapper was in here and left. Real talk, keeping it real. Method Man was in here. He was in the ISUPK. Your mama's favorite song, "Come Back to Me, Come Back." Boys the Men, they was in here too. They left. You wanna know why? Because they didn't have what Colin Kaepernick got. Oh, y'all brothers should be ready to take on that same charge.
That's right.
If y'all don't do it, bruh, it's gonna be another generation of babies being aborted. You understand? Let me ask you a question. Who holds the NBA record for the most rings? NBA championship run?
Bill Russell.
Who?
Yeah, Bill Russell.
Bill Russell? Most High Christ. How many abortions happen every year from blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? How many abortions?
No.
That's a fucking shame. That's a shame, man. You know how many rings that a slave made to make white people money, but you have no idea how many abortions is going on in your own nation. 500,000 abortions last year alone from blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
That's right.
That's 500,000 of your people
Right.
gone, wiped out, right under your nose. And you know how many rings Bill Russell had. You see what's problem? You see the problem?
Yeah.
That's the problem. Give me Hosea 4 and 6. Here's the problem. 4 and 1 actually. It was just 4 and 1, right? 4 and, yeah, let me get that. You know what I'm saying? Here, the problem is we don't know nothing. That's the whole problem. Read.
Hosea chapter 4, verse 1.
But every answer to blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, to their problems, their solutions are in the Bible.
Here,
Go ahead. Start at 6.
come on, come. Hosea chapter 4, verse 6.
No, stop. Start at verse 1 and then skip down to verse 6.
Come on, come. Hosea chapter 4, verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel.
You white people.
Ye children of Israel.
Arabs.
Ye children of Israel.
All the people on the planet.
Ye children of Israel.
Every nation.
Ye children of Israel.
Who the Lord speaking to?
Ye children of Israel.
Not nobody else. The Lord only loves blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's it.
Right.
He don't love everybody. He ain't all love. Read.
You consider that verse or chapter 6?
Drop it down to verse 6.
Verse 6. Verse 6. Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people
Huh?
My people.
My implies that's a possessive pronoun. My. Mine. That means that's something like I got my boots in that closet over there. I got my Hebrew Academy jacket in there. You understand? That's mine. What the Lord said, my people, read.
Are destroyed.
By what?
Are destroyed.
Go ahead.
For lack of knowledge.
That's why you didn't know how many abortions was happening. Because as long as you destroyed for what you don't know, the white man is comfortable. They comfortable because you'll never realize that what they doing underneath the scenes is cutting you off.
That's right.
They cutting your Achilles heel. Your next generation probably won't even exist if you keep going this way. But that's why Christ said, if the Lord don't send Christ, but if I'm paraphrasing, if the Lord don't send his son now, then shit, all flesh will be done. There will be no flesh left in Israel. None. Because we don't know nothing. We getting destroyed. And that's why you got to know. The Lord said, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Knowledge just means what you know. That's all. You didn't know you was an Israelite. You didn't know how many abortions is going on. You didn't know that the origins of Thanksgiving. You didn't know that Christmas is a sin against the Lord. You didn't know that Jesus Christ was a black man. You didn't know that God hates all these other nations. That they ain't nothing to him. You ain't know that the Mexicans was your people. The Puerto Ricans was your people. You ain't know that. Now you know it. So what you gonna do about it? That's the problem. Read on.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
And a lot of our young people reject this, man. They rather just turn up, wear tight pants, and get the Uzi Vert and dance like a bitch. That's what they rather do. And pop Molly and sweat. That's really what they rather do. And act like, man, come on. Some of the weakest men you know are idolized by young black men.
Right.
We want no cowards in again.